Hi everybody, I'm John Lincoln with Ignite Visibility and welcome to another Ignite Visibility University. Today I'm talking about email marketing. Why? Because we're launching an email marketing department. We've got an amazing director and I want to tell you all about it, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into email marketing. So first thing is, you can't do email marketing if you don't have a list. So before you can do anything, you're going to want to grow a list, right? And so I'm going to kind of walk you through how to grow your list. And I've got some, it kind of goes from basic to advanced. Then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about like some of the goals and of email marketing and some things that you need to keep in mind. And then get into the top types of emails that you can send and really just how you can get started on your own. So we're going to cover quite a bit today. And I think if you don't know a lot about email, you're probably going to learn a lot. Okay, if you're super advanced, you might learn a little. But so first things first, there's kind of 4 types of emails. So you can do emails for acquisition or for sales, right? So for lead generation or for e-commerce sites, you can do it for a product promotion or to let them know about a service. To generate traffic to content on your website. So if you have a blog, you can use the emails to do content marketing. Really important part of content marketing, integrating email. I'll talk more about that. And then of course for newsletters, company news. And then the last one, which I think I'd say almost like 90% of businesses online don't take advantage of as well as they should. Certainly like SaaS sites and stuff like that, but not your normal website, is retention and engagement. And I'll get more into that in a minute. But like I said, the first thing is, how do you grow your list? Well, here are 12 things you can do. Well, first start with friends and family and current customers, right? That's going to give you kind of a good base to get going. Then you're going to want to create a tripwire. So what I mean by that is like a white paper download, a free course, something of value that you can offer to people, and they're going to put in their email address in order to get it, okay? All websites, I believe, should have some type of tripwire strategy. You can create a tool, and when people use that tool, they can have to put in their email address in order to use it. That can be a great way to get tons of emails coming in over time. Form abandonment email. So if somebody fills out a form and they don't complete it all the way, but they put in their email address, you can capture emails that way. There's some rules that are specific to that. So you got to be careful with that one. Webinars, if somebody signs up for your webinar, you get their email address. Free trial, you get their email address that way. Exit pop-ups. This, to me, is one of the best ways. Somebody's leaving your site, they're gone, right? They've taken off, but right before they take off, you say, hey, would you like to download this amazing guide on X, right, that relates specifically to your service? Get it now. And you could have a 3-4% conversion rate on that exit pop-up. Really, if you don't have exit pop-ups on your website, you need to use them responsibly most of the time on your blog, then I believe that you're leaving money on the table, right? An email address is generally worth around $5 or so. Lightbox pop-ups, you can do that in a lot of different ways. You can have it activated on a click. So within a blog post, click here to download this guide. A lightbox pops up. People put in their email address. It can be a great way to capture emails. Post-specific pop-ups and downloads. So getting more specific to the individual posts that you have, whether it be a white paper on your website or just a really high traffic blog post, right? So you can go through your Google Analytics, look at your top landing page reports, and then craft individual pop-ups for each one of those landing pages, and you can start capturing emails right away. I can tell you, if it's an exit pop-up, it's not going to hurt your leads, it's not going to hurt your e-commerce or anything like that, and you could even have a normal pop-up fire after 4 or 5 seconds and have some success that way. By the way, not against Google's guidelines to do it on mobile. They just came out and said that recently, to have pop-ups on mobile, as long as it's small enough and as long as it's not the first thing that fires when you hit the page. That's called the mobile interstitial penalty. Welcome mats and page takeovers. So this is when you come to a website and then they take over the entire page and they put something in front of your face and it's not what you wanted to see. Those actually work really well, but I don't do them on my site or any of our client sites because they're just too evasive for me. But they actually do work quite well. And then global bars, so when you have a bar at the top of the website that's global, that can be awesome to capture email addresses. It can also be really good for conversion rate optimization. A lot of times I like to put a countdown timer in there when you have a sale, like for instance, a Black Friday. You've got the countdown until the end of the big sale that you're having there. It can really create a sense of urgency so that you get much higher conversion rates across the entire website. And then quizzes on using tools like WooBox on websites like Facebook or your own website can be really effective. So if you get a quiz and you get a couple hundred people entering a day, that's a couple hundred email addresses that you get a day through your quiz. So we run a lot of those for clients, and you should definitely be looking at that for yourself. A quiz that would be interesting to your demographic, target your demographic specifically through Facebook ads, get them to come in, get their email address, craft a program to nurture them until they eventually become a customer. Couple things to note: buying lists, generally not super effective. Let's cross that out. It's really doesn't work well from what I've seen. Some people will buy them, add 50, 100 people over time, but people get mad, right? And then renting lists is actually something that a lot of really advanced internet marketers do. So you can actually rent a list and then do a blast to that list. And that can work really well if you have a huge list and you've got great data in that list and you've got a specific promotion that goes right to that list that really makes sense with the data, right? If you know people on this list like pugs and you're selling mugs with pugs on them, then that could be something that's effective. But generally very low conversion rates on rented lists unless you're familiar with it, that it is a good rented list. Okay, so that's some ways to grow your list, and certainly there's more, but things to keep in mind: remember to capture where they came from, what URL they came in on, how you acquired the email, and then get as many personal details as possible, because if you have this, that's really gonna help when we get into this, right? The types of emails that you're sending. Again, there are these 4 buckets, but I kind of have subsections listed out here, because the more data you have here, the more effective you can be to take this and then craft this into the types of emails that you're gonna send. Okay, so now let's jump into the types of emails. First, content marketing. You have a blog post, you have a white paper, you're sending that type of stuff out either every time that you do a post, or you're sending it out weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly in some type of digest. We've all seen those, right? They work really well. They drive people back to the website. They get the customer's mind share so that next time they need your service, you're top of mind and they go to you and not your competitor. Automation drip campaigns. So I think most people don't really do a good job taking advantage of automation and drip campaigns. So what I mean by that is somebody who, for instance, they sign up for a free trial, and then you send a series of emails, maybe 5 emails, 3 days apart, getting them to engage with the free trial, right? Getting them to come back in, log in, use the service, right? Keeping them as part of the ecosystem, right? And then maybe once they do sign up, a post-conversion email that encourages them to come back in and use it again. Now, that's just one example, but you could also make something where, say somebody signs up for our Ignite Visibility newsletter, and then they get an automated series of these YouTube videos so that they can learn about SEO, right? We've got about 20 videos now. So it could be week 1, 2, 3. That might be something I'm working on, but something to keep an eye out for. There's also, of course, promotional emails. There are order status emails, there's shopping cart abandonment emails. I don't think a lot of people take enough advantage of this. If they're filling out your lead form or they're going through your checkout process and then they leave after they've put in your email address, it's a really good practice to email them in a couple times and say, hey, why don't you come back and complete that transaction? Maybe offer them 10% off or some type of incentive to come back and finish off. Okay? Reorder emails. So say you're getting soap every 3 months, we have that data. If you're a customer, we can send that to you at just before the 3-month mark, letting them know that you can reorder for this small discount. They don't go to a competitor, right? Instead, they come back to us. So reorder emails can really boost sales and reduce churn, okay? course, newsletter emails, and then cross-sell recommendation emails. So if I buy, a pair of jeans on Amazon, and they know that people who buy these jeans also generally really like this shirt, that would be a great time to do a cross-sell recommendation email, right? Or for instance, if I just started a new website and I launched that, maybe it would be a good time to do a cross-sell recommendation email for marketing services like we offer here. So those can work really, really well, and something to definitely think about. Of course, event emails, really basic. Lead nurturing emails, say you fill out a lead form for a financial advisor. You want them to contact you, to have a series of emails to ask how things are going. Has anybody contacted you yet? Something to keep the customer engaged, until the lead closes. Then once it's closed, you check the box and the emails start, or another automated series starts, right? But these things really nurture people into the conversion because people are busy. They don't always have time. And then of course, co-marketing emails. So, say I partner with a big, website development company, and we're a marketing company. We can co-market emails together. So we could do a joint blast between multiple lists. Okay. So those are 11 types of emails. We talked about growing your list and kind of gathering data and using that. But so how do you get started on your own? Well, some clients come to us and some people come to us, they're super advanced. They have all this stuff going. They just need tweaks. They need reporting. They need higher conversion rates. They need more click-through rates, right? And that's awesome. Those are great people. But there's other people who they haven't done anything yet, right? So let's start from the bottom and we'll kind of work our way up a bit. First, it's usually a good idea just to start with a basic newsletter and then content marketing, right? If you're doing blog posts, if you have company news, you should be doing that just to get in front of your customer in another way and keeping them engaged, right? If you've got some great company news, people will cheer you on, right? And that's exciting. Product or service promotions, right? If we're launching a new service like email marketing, I'm definitely going to send that out through email and let everybody know, right? And that's happened before. When we launched our public relations department about a year ago, we sent that out and we acquired multiple clients right away just by doing an email blast on it, right? So it allowed us to get a great jump start. Okay. And then once you have kind of like the product and service promotion going, usually people are starting to do after that list segmentation. So breaking that up, if you're an e-commerce site, it might be by product category. If you're a service-based business, it might be based off a service, right? And then, you'll be splitting those lists up, doing split testing with different types of emails to see what has the highest engagement, of course. And then looking at the reporting and analyzing, changing images so that you can get the highest conversion rate, and thinking about a lot of the same practices you use on web pages for conversion rate optimization for the responsive design emails that you're designing and sending out. Okay, keep mobile incredibly important for email, right? Most people check it on their phones. Okay. And then usually the third step is automation or cart abandonment. Most people don't get to the automation stuff kind of towards the end. That's usually one of the last steps, but one that's really important for pretty much any type of business can have some type of automation. So think about what your strategy is there. So what I'd leave you with here today is think about the 4 buckets, right? Think about how to get started. Look at the ways to grow your list and just go around and kind of circle what makes the most sense for you. Take this, craft this into a strategic plan and get going with email marketing. And if you need any help, certainly let us know. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this was interesting to you, and I can't wait to see you for the next Ignite Visibility University. Have a great day.